Hey everyone, Rick here, and I want to do a quick video on how to take the exams remotely. Currently, Quiz 1 and Quiz 2 are remote. We're scheduled to go back in person after that. So as it's currently scheduled, all the rest of the quizzes in the final will be in person. Of course, that could change. But we know at least the first two are, and this is the remote process for any of them that are right now. That's only Quiz 1 and 2. Two things I'm going to talk about. First is how to do them remotely. And second is this fake quiz that you should also do. It's up there. I'll talk about what it is and why we're doing it. So the first topic is how to take the remote exams. Very quickly, I'm going to go through each one of these 5 in more detail, but you're going to download a PDF from Canvas. You're going to complete that PDF that has the quiz or the final on it. There's a couple of ways you might do that. You then upload that PDF to Canvas after you've finished it. Once you've done that, you need to download your own submission and check it. I'll talk about how to do that and why you're doing it. And then I'm going to say a little bit about the timing. Okay, so first off, download the PDF. Right now, Quiz 1, Quiz 2, and the fake quiz should be up on Canvas. When the quiz is available, and that'll be at 4 p.m. on the day of the quiz, but as soon as it's available, the assignment will make a PDF downloadable by you. Okay, you can't download it before that, but at 4 p.m. on the day of the quiz, you can download the PDF. You can complete it in any of 3 ways. Okay, so what you might do is after you've downloaded the PDF, you could print it out and actually write out the answers with pencil or pen on the PDF and then do a scan that into another PDF and upload that. Maybe a third way or second way is you download it, let's say on your computer or your iPad or whatever, and you just complete it digitally without ever actually printing it out on real paper and then just saving that PDF file and uploading that. That's fine too. Those are the 2 preferred ways. Either of those is best. If you can't do either of those, you don't have a printer and you don't have a tablet or a computer that lets you easily do things digitally, then a third way, that's fine, but we prefer the first 2 if you can. But a third way is you can just write out all of the answers on regular paper and submit a PDF of that, a scan, and that's okay too. Okay. So those are the 3 ways you could complete it. Now, what I want to emphasize is that what you need to upload to Canvas is a PDF. Okay, not a photograph, not a Word doc, but a PDF file that has all of the pages on it. So it's one PDF that has every page of the quiz, like the 3, 4, 5 pages, whatever. Or if it's the final exam, it's like 10 or 11 pages. But just one PDF, all the pages straight, right side up. Okay. Now, I'll talk more about this later, but most phones have like iPhone, Android. Even if you don't realize this, they can scan PDFs. So they use the phone's camera to, in the same way you could take a photo of something, you can scan a PDF of a document pretty easily. I'll talk about that later. After you've uploaded that PDF, the next thing you want to do, you need to do, it's a requirement, is to download your own submission. The thing you just uploaded, download it and check that it's right. Why? Because, believe it or not, a lot of problems happen at this stage. Students finish the quiz, they upload the PDF, and then they take off. We go to grade it, and it turns out that the student uploaded the wrong PDF. We've seen students upload assignments from a different class. Sometimes they upload the blank quiz document that they downloaded. They just re-upload the blank quiz. Sometimes they upload the right PDF, but it didn't save their answers, right? They do it on an iPad and they think they saved their answers, but it didn't save them and they upload it and it's a blank document. Sometimes Canvas says the upload worked, but it didn't. Okay. So anyway, all of these things can be solved by you just downloading your own submission and just looking over it and check and make sure that it's in fact correct. All of your answers are there. Canvas, in fact, does have it. It's the right file. It's the exam for this class. It's not an assignment for some econ class. So just download it, make sure it's right. Finally, I want to say something about the timing. The quizzes are available at 4 p.m. That's the same time that the lecture meets when it meets in person. It's available at 4. It's due at 11 p.m. So you have 7 hours to do it. This is not a timed exam. So timed exams are the ones where, let's say you've got an hour to do it and you can, it's available for a whole, 8 hours or 24 hours. But as soon as you download it, a clock starts ticking and you've only got 60 minutes to upload it. That would be a timed exam. This one isn't timed in that way. It's available at 4, it's due at 11, but you can take that whole period if you want. There's no clock that starts ticking necessarily when you download it. The key is just to make sure that you get the final version uploaded by 11 p.m. Okay? I highly recommend you don't wait until 10:55. Okay? Why? Because if there's any kind of problem, if you download it and it turns out it was the wrong file, or if your internet goes down at 10:50, then you're kind of hosed. All right? If my recommendation is to just do the whole thing at 4 o'clock, upload it at 5. These quizzes are designed to really only take about 20-25 minutes. And you should be free at 4 anyway because you signed up for a class that goes from 4 to 5 on Mondays and Wednesdays. So you've got that hour available to you, hopefully, in your schedule. Just do it then and upload it at 5. That way, if something goes wrong, you got a problem with your internet or whatever, you've got 6 hours to troubleshoot that problem. Okay? This is just a long way of saying it's due at 11, but don't wait until 10:50, even 10:30. Just try to get it done as early as possible. Give yourself a big buffer in case something goes wrong. Okay, what's the fake quiz and why are we doing it? Well, the fake quiz the process is just like the real quiz. It's going to be an assignment on Canvas. There will be a PDF there that you download. That PDF is going to have a place for multiple choice answers. It's going to have other things on it. It's going to have real questions that are real in the sense that there's actually questions there that you need to write stuff down about. They're fake in the sense that they've got nothing to do with logic. You don't need to know anything to answer these questions. We're not going to look, there's no right or wrong answers, but you should write things down somehow. The reason is that the whole point of the fake quiz is to just rehearse this process because maybe you've never scanned a PDF before. Maybe you've never used your iPad to fill out a PDF and upload that. So we just want to make sure that you guys are comfortable with the process and that everything works. You know how to download it. You know how to fill it out. That whatever tech you're using to scan it or to save the document actually saves it correctly and we get a file we can read. We want to work out all the kinks in that process before the real quiz, because if that stuff happens for the real quiz and something goes wrong, you just lost 100 points. Okay? So the fake quiz is an opportunity to go through the whole process, make sure that it works in a situation where there's not 100 points on the line, that if something goes wrong, you can fix it before the real quiz. This means that you should do the fake quiz the same way you're planning on doing the real quizzes, meaning if you're going to print them out on real paper and you fill them out with pen or pencil and use your phone to scan a PDF, do that same thing with a fake quiz. If you're going to do it on an iPad and save it digitally and upload that PDF, do the same thing with a fake quiz. Okay, because whatever process you're going to use for the remote real quizzes, that's the process we want to make sure works correctly during the fake quiz. That's what we're troubleshooting. In order to motivate you to do this, if everything is done correctly for the fake quiz, meaning you upload it in time, it is a PDF, the pages are all right side up, we can read your writing that you put down for all of the answers, you can get up to 10 extra credit points. To the extent that some of those things go wrong, then it might not be a full 10 points. But it is easy. So there's going to be something like, one of the questions is, just shows you a grid and just asks you to copy the grid. And that's where we just want to see if however you're going to draw a truth table will actually save correctly and we can read it. So you don't need any knowledge of logic or how to do logic to answer these questions, but definitely still put answers down or write things down. Select something for multiple choice answers to make sure we can read whatever you're going to use to bubble answers in. Okay, so actually go through and do the quiz for real and submit it for real, even though it's called a fake quiz, because that's what will help us make sure that the process works. Now, what do we need from you? And by this, I mean, what counts as submitting the quiz correctly if it's remote? For the fake quiz to get the full 10 points, but to make sure that your submission is right for the regular quizzes. First off, make sure it's in PDF format. Okay, not a photograph, not a Word doc, but a PDF. And make sure that it's one PDF file that has all the pages. So not if the quiz is 5 pages, what you should be submitting is one PDF file that has 5 pages on it. Make sure that all pages are right side up. If you're not sure how to scan PDFs, let me just mention this now. It's easy to do with your phone. So if you have an iPhone, I think it's the Files app, you can just use it to scan a PDF. With Android, there's also like the Google Drive. You can add file PDF and use your camera. And it's like taking a photograph. You just kind of hold it up over the page and you click scan page, scans a PDF. You flip to page 2, and then there's a thing for add page. So it adds that next image to the same PDF file. Flip to page 3, add page, you scan it, and then save it as a PDF and upload that. If you're not sure how to do it, Google it. Look on YouTube. There's plenty of videos that show you how to do it. But do that now. Get comfortable scanning PDFs now so that when the quizzes come up, you know how to do it. It's just a good thing to be able to do. Everything works on PDFs these days, and if you know how to use your phone to scan PDF documents, that's just a good life skill these days. Put the multiple choice answers in the multiple choice answer bubbles. So in the first page of the quiz, in the front page, there's a set of bubbles for you to put your multiple choice answers. A lot of students forget to do that, but actually just put your multiple choice answers there. You can also put them on the questions themselves, but what we're going to look at for grading purposes is the bubbles on that front page. Also on the front page, make sure you put your name and section number on that. And the section number should be for the discussion section you're in. That'll be section A01, A02 up through A06. It's not A00. That's the designation for the entire class. We know you're in the class. What we need to know is which discussion section you're in, because the grade book where we keep scores is divided by discussion section. And so when we grade your quiz, what we need to be able to do is to open the right grade book so we can put your points in. So if you're in section 3, we need to know you're in A03 so that we can bust out the A03 grade book and give you your points. Okay. So that's why we need to know your discussion section. Okay, so this is how to do the remote quizzes and what the fake quiz is about. As of now, to recap, quizzes 1 and 2 are remote, so you'll use this process. Quizzes 3, 4, 5, and the final exam, as of now, this will probably change, but as of now, will be in person. So that'll be easier. You'll just show up for any exams that are in person. You'll show up in person. We'll hand you the physical paper exam. You complete it with pen or pencil and then turn it in at the front of the lecture hall. So that process is going to be way, way easier as soon as we can go back to that. But for now, fake quiz, quiz 1, quiz 2 are remote. Now you know how to do it. If you have any questions, send me an email and I will try to answer those as soon as possible. Good luck. Study hard.